So now we come to Mr. Billy Tahika. Could you give us, not many Chinese participants here know much about what Maori indigenous property is. Could you introduce yourself together with the indigenous property?
Sure. I'll address you in my language first of all. Kia ora tātou, nā mihi atu ki a koe, e te rangatira, me nā aku rangatira no te takitaki o te ao. Tēnā koutou, ka nui te koa me te hari ki te tūtaki a koutou, I roto I nā ahuatanga o te wā. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā no tātou katoa. Thank you very much. Ni hao mā. It's the limit of my Chinese, my Mandarin. Thank you and greetings to everyone here for this next panel, discussion panel. So my name is Billy Te Kahika. I come here in two distinct roles and capacities. My first capacity that I'll talk about is as the Managing Director of two companies, Indigenous Property Exchange and also Indigenous Business Consultants. We are getting ready to transition into just being Indigenous Business Consultants. I'm also very, very proud to claim Sir Mark Solomon, who spoke so very beautifully earlier today, as a colleague and a mentor in my company. And the role of Indigenous Business Consultants has developed over the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, I have built an Indigenous commodities and trading network that involves almost 70 countries, representing hundreds and hundreds of Indigenous communities in North America, Latin America, the Pacific Islands, Asia, and Northern Scandinavia. During that time, I've built up a collection of MOUs and trade agreements that support the very pillars that we're talking about today in the One Belt, One Road concept, in which there's cooperation, economic development through cultural sharing, economic sharing, and mutual capacity development. So my role in the last 2 years has been to bring that network together and develop and identify real opportunities to develop real income, real opportunities so that emerging Indigenous groups can be developed and build upon their capacity, and also that the more financial and economically capable Indigenous groups can do business with each other. My second role that I'm here to promote this afternoon, and I'm very, very proud of this, is as King Tuhatia's, His Majesty's Ambassador of International Trade and Relationships. That role is a very, 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 very serious role, because we believe that the King is able to provide a platform to aggregate the opportunities for the Māori economy to engage in business with the world, and in particular with China. In my role as the ambassador, I'm able to effect Māori economic development through cultural and trade relationships. And I would suggest, as we've heard perhaps a couple of times today, that the historic relationship that Māori have with China goes back millennia. It is scientifically proven that New Zealand Māori have a DNA link with our Chinese family. And we're very proud of that. We claim that heritage. And in fact, I was sitting down just yesterday in the outside here, and I had a very esteemed looking gentleman come up to me and start speaking Chinese, Mandarin to me. So I had a feeling that there was my DNA kicking in there. I was very proud of that. But I'm also here to promote, through my role as the ambassador for the King's Ambassador of International Trade and Relationships, to promote that Māori as a colonised people, Indigenous people here of Aotearoa, New Zealand, that we are moving forward in a process of transition from grievance and from one of settling disputes and claims as to our rights as an Indigenous people, but we're moving forward. We're moving forward to embrace the future that we believe is ahead of us, to develop ourselves to the point where we can engage in robust relationships that are going to economically develop our people. It's really super important, and an opportunity that the Oceania Silk Road Network has provided today for all of us to engage with each other is also much more poignant for Māori like ourselves to be here today, because we are essentially outside of government. We believe that our Indigenous sovereignty is expressed through economic prosperity. And I believe that the One Belt, One Road concept is perhaps another conduit to flowing through the opportunities for our people to economically develop. So, and just to quote the former Prime Minister of Egypt, he said something that really resonated with our king earlier, and that is through business we believe that we can share with each other and develop a harmonious relationship with all brothers and sisters in the world, in particular using our distinct and special voice that only New Zealand Māori have in our context, and taking that to the world to help add to the opportunity to develop a harmony with all people, and also to build upon that to culturally enrich ourselves through engagement, and also economically develop ourselves through that process of, we call it whanaungatanga, or I can reinterpret this, that we can develop ourselves through being a big part of the family of the world.
So, Mr. Mr. Kahika, would you please elaborate a little more about the business opportunities in Māoridom?
Sure, that's a great opportunity. Thank you for that. So the Māori economy is very diverse. We as Sir Mark referred to today, and Matua Tuku Morgan spoke about, our economy is getting to that point where it's significant, just slightly less than $50 billion in terms of value. What we are interested in our economy is how we can extract value from the resources and from our land that we have. Primarily, when you talk about Māori economy and business, the first thing that springs to mind is the primary industry sector. We're looking at fisheries, we're looking at farming, we're looking at forestry, and all forms of different types of agriculture. But it goes way beyond that. Māori innovation is well known. We have a Māori company that specialises in developing online language programs to help languages thrive and be taught when they are at risk. And that company is a worldwide company now, based here in Auckland and in Dubai. It's a company called Kiwa. I'm sure Dean is aware of that. And AT played a role in helping that company develop. But it also goes into tourism. We offer a very unique tourism sector and a very rich experience, of which many of my associates that are involved in Māori tourism greatly value the import and inflow of tourism from China. It's so important. I've met a lovely young lady outside who's got a tourism business, a lovely young Chinese lady. And having great inbound operators to support our tourism sector, the Māori tourism sector, is extremely important. So we offer tourism, but also with that we offer a wide variety of investment opportunities in all sorts of types of spaces. Traditional medicine, as one of the esteemed professors said to me earlier, jeepers, Māori need to get our medicine out into the world market, because our medicine that we have in our language is called rongo. Our medicine is famous. It can heal. It's natural. It's not illegal. And at this stage, and it's something that the world can embrace, which is part of course, our conversation around honey. How many of you here like our New Zealand Manuka honey and are familiar with it in China? Correct. So the emerging honey sector in New Zealand is amazingly significant in the developing profile and footprint it's developing in the Māori economy. However, some of the challenges around that for some of our families in the Indigenous Māoridom are confronted with being asset rich in terms of our land, but cash flow poor, being unable to develop that land. So part of my role as the King's Ambassador of Trade is to help assist and develop a roadmap so that we can partner with the right type of partner to provide access to capital that will develop and unlock the potential that our lands have. And what that means is, to all of you that are involved in commodities and buying products for China from New Zealand, it means that we can effect long-term, robust supply sources with you. For example, if we take forestry, for example. No, I'll use lamb and beef. If we take lamb and beef, everybody wants New Zealand lamb and New Zealand beef. But the supply is very, very, very competitive. You have to compete and bid to buy our products. So what I advocate is that we partner with those large stakeholders in China to work with our Māori landowners with unused land to develop progeny, to develop strains of beef and lamb with the Māori farmers and landowners so that we can guarantee you an intergenerational supply. It's so much a smarter way and a long-term way of doing business. And so those are just a little oversight to some of the thoughts I have around some of the opportunities for China with New Zealand Māori. We invite you to engage with us, and I would like to think and offer you an opportunity to work with me to help broaden and create a robust platform for that.
Thank you, Mr. Te Kahika. So now we come. So the applause means that you just made a fantastic remark.